Whenever you click on the Settings module, it'll bring you to the first tab, which is General. This will have all of the just general information in the system. So the district name, address is shown here. Google Analytics. We have the SIS import and export, the parent settings. So if they're allowed to withdraw any applications on their dashboard, notification. So we have text messaging on, if they can see their application status on their dashboard, if they will receive an email anytime their status is updated from in processing to eligible or to ineligible, the parent will receive an email. Parent notes. So this is what will show the parent notes on their dashboard, and this is what will send an email about the parent notes if checked off. And then they can also see a deliverable checklist on their dashboard if needed as well. You can also edit the color options. By default, eligible is green and eligible is red, and processing is orange. Not submitted is this like faded blue, and withdrawn is a faded gray. We'll go to the schools and programs setup. Currently, we have districts. So all of this is set up, and I don't expect any editing of this heavily. We have school levels, schools. The only thing is schools is where you can edit the school profile for the school finder. So if I look at schools, I can click on edit. I'm able to see basic information. Whenever I have this school finder form set up, you'll have each school to have different tabs that the information can be edited there, as well as the descriptions of the schools can be edited here as well. You can search for schools. Nashville is the only district that we have in, and then you can also add a new school. So if you add a new school, it just shows you school code, name, abbreviation, what level that it's going to, the cluster name, date. If you have to enter in the latitude and longitude for it to show up on the map that's used in the school choice step and the school finder. Okay, I'll go back to the schools and programs step. We have the program categories. This is set up already, but this is also where you can edit the application dates. So for instance, for magnet schools, if I click on edit, I can see the application closed and open on dates right here, and I can edit those as needed. The choice limits, but this is mainly all this has been set up for in the form process. So we'll go over that in a little bit. If you select the hidden from parents that we just saw, and I'll go back to that, say for ALC, if I click on edit, this will be hidden from parents, and I'll recheck that. This means that the parent will not be able to see that choice since this is an administrative only choice. So it'll hide it from the parent's application and parent dashboard. Okay, and then the last item on this schools and programs tab is the program. So if I click this, I'm able to see all of the programs that are currently in the system. I'm able to search by their name, program level, program type. So this is just the program category. And then the tag. So we have the tag set up with academic eligibility requirements, ALC and SPED. We also have it by their quadrants and also by their clusters, so you can easily search and edit. You'll be able to see the abbreviation, program name, the category if it's enabled, and then the accepting grades. If I click on edit, I'm able to see all this information. I can enter in another tag if needed, and I'll show you how to set those up. We can, if we disable it, then disabled programs are hidden, but no parent can't apply to that program anymore. Program category, subcategory groups. This shows on the program drop downs on the school selection step. This will be able to group them together so all the KIPP schools can be grouped together, items like that. Notification email. This will send out an email to any admin that is listed here. Each time the school receives an application for that program, it'll send an email. Most of my districts choose not to use this feature, as many emails will be sent out because of that. We have the website link, map pin color. If we do it by program, if you want this program to have a certain color on the map, you can select that color here. We have the program eligibility, so the deliverable group is showing academic criteria. We will go over those deliverable groups on another tab. So you're able to select other grades if you need to add grades. The application form is already set. The complete email is listed by the form process. The complete email is the email the parent receives once they submit the application. There's a default email that sends per form process that when it's left blank, it'll send a default email, and I'll show you where you can edit that. If a program needs a specific email that goes out whenever they submit the application, it can be selected here. I'm going to skip the lottery settings, as we'll go over that at a different time. The appeal settings, this is if a parent appeals. If you enter an email address here, they will receive an email when the application was appealed. Okay, if I go to date and time, this I'm able to easily just access the date and time for each program category. I can click edit and edit the same way. I'm able to select the time zone, and whenever we roll over the system, you'll be able to see different school years. So currently we only have one school year, but the next school year will be 2021. You can also make the default school year of what you want the parents to automatically be logged into. So say if we open 2021 and you still want the default school year to be 1920, when the parent logs in, they'll automatically be on 1920, and then you're able to give them access to that year or take that away. We're going to go ahead and skip over the lottery tab, and we'll go over to that whenever we start building that out. We have content and letters. This is where all the content is stored. If I want to send, or if I want to create a template to send out a bulk email, I can do that here. So I'll say bulk email test, just to show. I'll select the type as a letter. You can put any description, dear student name, and you can kind of go through all of the verbiage that is needed. I can save. If I go back to the applications module and say I will bulk email, then I'm able to use an existing letter template. I can select bulk email test, and it'll automatically send that letter template out. So you don't have to do a one-time message. You can use the letter template to send that specific email as much as needed. Specific emails are edited here. Parent dashboard verbiage will be edited here. So anything that needs to be edited, I can always give you the specific content name that you can search for and revise as needed. Okay, we have custom data. All of this was really setup work, so it's all currently in the system and ready to go. Any changes will probably be very minor. We have grades. These are all the grades that are currently in the system. If they have a specific birth date range, those can be used here and managed here. And then we can also always ignore the birth date range, so it won't give an error if the student isn't in that range. We have deliverables. This is setting all the deliverables that are created. If we need to add any other deliverables, so there's like things such as like signed payment agreement, current immunization records, we can always add more. Deliverable groups, they have to be set up in a group before they can be assigned to a program. So academic criteria, we have a few checked off and labeled academic criteria, so we can give those to each program, and each one can have different deliverables checked off to include. We're going to skip the lottery priorities. We have flag types. These are already set up and they're just currently shown in the system. Export fields. This just includes all of the fields that are currently included whenever you export in different areas of the system. We can go over that at a later time. Addresses. This is all the addresses that were currently imported. Custom data sources. These have already been set up and I really don't imagine editing any of those, but those are things that are set up, like the cities that are all listed here, states, countries, anything that can be selected from a drop down is usually in this area. We have report categories. We have tags. So tags would be all of the tags that are the clusters, the quadrants, anything like that. If you want to use a tag to be able to sort for a program, it has to be added here first. So if I wanted to add a new tag, I would need to add it here. And only then would I be able to go into the programs area and then select it from the tags. And if you try to type a tag in that has not been already created, it will not save. So that's important to do first. Okay, and then if I go to forms, once again, these are pretty much already set up, the exception of some content that you may be wanting to edit. So if I go into edit for the optional application process, I'm able to see specific things like the choice limit is 7. They're allowing applications to be ranked, the appeals, whenever the first appeal expires. You'll see there's a description, requirements and policies are managed here. Begin application content is managed here. Complete application, so this shows whenever the parent submits their application, it shows on the last completion page, and it also will email them a copy of this as well. And then a closed. So if the applications are closed, what content will show here. There's language. These are all the languages that are checked off that are currently used in Google Translate, but whenever we will be using your language translator, we can just input the ID here, and then the language translate will go through your service. We have payments. Currently, nothing is set up to do with payments, but I believe this is a pro feature that pre-K might be using, but we haven't set anything up yet. This is just the template that's currently on the parent side, showing all the colors, all the logos that are uploaded, and then the footer of the template that can be edited here. And then rollover. This is the tab that we will be using whenever the system needs to be rolled over to the next school year. So it'll be going from 1920 to 2021. And you just enter in the password and click rollover applications. Sometimes this can take multiple hours, but we can go over that at a later date.